Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and this is my son Ben, and today we have one of my favorite whiskies here on our cask. It's the Bowmore 18 years of age.
Yeah, really nice one. Unfortunately, I have to say I was never inside the Bowmore distillery because when I did my Isla tour, the Bowmore distillery was closed down due to maintenance.
Yeah.
But I had a really nice interview with the old distillery manager that you can find on our video cask or on the YouTube channel. And he explains everything about where Bowmore comes from. There's a great reef in front of the city of Bowmore, and that's where all this stuff comes from. They're really, really proud of the sea.
Mm-hmm. So Bowmore is one of the distilleries which is quite old. It's established in the 18th century. It's 1779, and they weren't covered by the ban of the British Crown that prohibited the distillation of whiskey in the malt whiskey in the Highlands. So they were part of the United Kingdom on the independent Isles. And so Bowmore from the Isle of Islay was able to produce since 1779. And if you have a look at the distillery, you see those buildings which were increased, enhanced, left, right, and so on, going more and more in detail. And there's a very special vault, a warehouse where the normal water level is, in the level of the warehouse. So the bottom of the warehouse is below normal sea level.
Yeah, it's called the Vault Number One. Yeah, there's also a whiskey that's being called the Vault Number One.
Yeah, and the water goes through that wall, and the wall is old bricks and some decay is visible, and all is wet, and the air is humid, lots of humidity. And in that vault, the whiskey matures a little bit different because the humidity is that high. On the other hand, Bowmore uses a lot of Oloroso sherry casks, and this leads to a intense sherry matured whiskey. And Bowmore has their own kilns and are still drying their own malt to a certain amount over their own kiln fires. And it's a peated whiskey, but not that intense as other whiskies from Islay. So this is said to have 35 ppm. The highest have 45-50 in the normal range, and so 35 is not that high as others have, but it's definitely a smoky whiskey.
Yeah, I'm really excited about how smoky the whiskey is and how that is balanced out with all the sherry. There's one anecdotal story from me. I used to own a bottle of Bowmore 18 when I was 20 or something, but I only got it from you when it was like really low, so it oxidized quite a lot. And I kept it very long, so the oxidization in this case was not good. You always say whiskey oxidizes over the years if you keep the bottle open.
The majority is to the good side.
Some of them is going to the good side, some of them is going to the bad side. For my Bowmore 18, it went on the bad side. It was really soapy. And I don't know, I didn't know that much back then when I was 20, so I thought, well, Bowmore, not my type. But I've had some in the recent past, 3 years ago, and it was good. I can remember it was really good.
So this one, very nice, light smoky note.
Oh yeah.
In the start, and what's impressive is that's not only smoky, but you definitely are able to smell other aromas through that already with the first sniff.
I would even say that the other aromas are a bit stronger than the smoke. You do definitely have some good smoke in there, but the fruitiness and a little bit of banana, honey, something like that. I don't know, something
sweety,
cream sweety
is on top. And as soon as you put your nose into it, then the smoke kicks in.
The closer you get, if you're at that distance, I do get a lot of sweetness, fruitiness, and the closer you get, the more strength and the more
smoked ham.
Yeah, definitely. More smoke.
Yeah, so it's only 43% ABV. It's unchill filtered, 18 years. So, and with 18 years, you get a lot out of those casks. And the fresh aromatic smoke is typically more oxidized to more stable compounds. And those smell differently to those which are younger. So younger whiskies are typically more smoky, and if you mature it for a longer time in cask, the oxidization takes place and it's longer. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sweet, a lot of fruit, covers my mouth, mouth-watering immediately. Second gulp, immediately more mouth-watering. Smokiness appears, little spiciness from the wood. So it's a very complex, intense taste, which is, well, which mirrors what you have in your nose.
It's incredibly because the smoke in the nose is more intense than you would expect in the flavor. Usually you have some fresh malts from South Isla. You have very light smoke in the nose and then hits you with heavy smoke. This is a medium smoke with a good amount of fruitiness. You realize, there's a lot of sherry influence in there. And so you can really pick out the different fruits that you feel in your whiskey. And it's just a well-balanced, complex whiskey. And it's quite long. And for $80 whiskey with 18 years, I have to say it's a really good whiskey.
And the 43% ABV is just right to give it the right amount of strength to put all those aromas on your tongue and in your mouth. So this is quite an old style of Bowmore, the typical style of Bowmore. And they changed their appearance of the bottle, I think, shortly after 2000, 2002, 2003, when they stopped delivering to the blenders. And there they changed the bottle as well. And this Bowmore 18 years appeared. Before there had been always a 17-year out on the market. And the 18-year took over. And this is, well, I think the most affordable old bottle from Bowmore. If you're going up to 21 and 25 years, then the prices rise extremely. And this is really the best price value point.
That's really interesting because Bowmore is a brand that you have. I can remember back in the days, Bowmore Surf, and there are some no-age statement whiskies from Bowmore, which are really entry-level priced, I would say. Then you have the mediums like 12. Good, 12 is pretty medium in entry price as well. Then you have 15, 18, which are normal priced, a bit more like the sophisticated ones, and then you have the very, very high-end Black Bowmore.
Yeah,
that
they
kind
are
of
gone
stuff.
already. A few thousand euros or dollars per
Yeah,
bottle.
the thing is that you have a brand that goes from entry level to the
extreme. To the
collectors and high society whiskey. So this is a brand that really made the stretch.
And there are some bottles in between which show the content of this bottle, like how it's called, the Golden Reef, which is less sherry, but there's also a Black Isle or something like that. So there are Bowmores with less sherry content and with more sherry content, and the original Bowmore is with a higher content of sherry. Yeah, I think that's it.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much one of my really all-time high favorite.
Yeah, one of the good whiskies.
Nice. Excellent whiskies.
Excellent whiskies, yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.